But yes, the next class that we're going to be going over is let's see, what should we choose next? Let's go over some of the elf races. Let's start with our good old fashioned Bosmer, which are basically your wood elf of the game. And looking at the picture of this wood elf makes them look pretty cool, honestly. If any of you have played Morrowind or Oblivion, you know that the wood elves are they look kind of like 12-year-old boys. And they're basically your archer class. And they're not bad. I've played a wood elf before, and I gotta admit, they're not bad. Obviously, they're skilled in agility, because they're a stealth bow type class. And the females, though, have lowered endurance. I don't know why. And the males have lowered personality. I don't know, honestly. Ask the programmers about that. I guess they had to lower something for both classes. So they're just like, oh, endurance here and personality here. But yes, but where am I? Okay, here we are. They also have lowered strength and willpower. Both male and female both have that. So obviously they're not going to be using magic, and they're not really going to be too strong. So just got to keep an eye out for that. And they have base intelligence, base luck, and yeah. But their two strong suits are agility and speed, which are basically your two classes. Your two stealth attributes, I think they're called. I always get them confused. I think they're attributes. But anyways, yeah, that's your typical Bosmer or wood elf. And I am sorry, I don't know what that was. And I don't know why I have my sunglasses on right now. But yes, now on to our second race of the elves, the Altmer, which, again, I do not have a picture of this, except for the Oblivion picture, because they have not released a picture for the Altmer, which are your High Elves, which are your mage class for the elf races. But yeah, obviously, they're mage class. They have strong intelligence, and that's it. They have high intelligence, and that's about it. But they also have less lowered stats. They only have one lowered stat on both, which would meaning male and female, which would be obviously strength. And they're two opposites with male to female. Would be speed for the males would be lowered, and endurance for the females would be lowered, which they're basically your mage class for your elves. I've actually made a high elf before, and I gotta admit, it's tough playing them because they actually have a very bad defect, which makes them weak to fire, frost, and shock, which is really bad. But they have a very high resist disease. That's about it. But those lowered skills mean a lot. They are a tough class to use, and I just spit on my computer screen. Ew. But yeah, that is your basic Altmer. And our final class, and our final elf class, my favorite, the Dunmer, or your typical dark elf. And basically, Nah, basically, they're assholes. Sorry about the cursing, but yeah. I love playing as a Dark Elf, though. They're a very normal class. They don't have a lot going for them. They're mainly a stealth class, but not really. They're a very all-around class, honestly. They have very high speed at a base 50 speed, but they also have lowered willpower, which, honestly, I have made a dark elf mage before. Actually, I typically make a spell sword, which is basically a combination of swords and spells, and might be the course that I'm gonna be going down in Oblivion too, or Skyrim. But yeah, I have made a spell using Dark Elf. They're actually pretty easy all-around class to use. And they're two lowered stats for male and female. Males would have a lowered personality, whereas females would have a lowered endurance. They're a lot like the Altmer, except it's personality instead of speed that's lowered. And if any of you have played Morrowind, you know why the males have lowered personality. Like I said, they're assholes. But yes, that's your basic Dunmer, or Dark Elf.